How much money should you have invested by any age? That's the question. If you're 25 years old, how much money should you have invested? If you're 35 years old, how much money should you have invested as opposed to a 25-year-old? And even if you're 50 years old, how much money should you have invested by then? Or should you even invest at all? That's what I'll be talking about in this video. Now, if you ask me, I think everyone should be investing. 10 years ago, this wasn't so easy. You'd have to find a brokerage and you would have to go there and pay them fees for investing and wait hours or days to invest your money, and everything was very slow and took a lot of time. Because of all the fees and the time involved, a lot of people just didn't invest. This means that a lot of people missed out on money that they could have earned over 10, 15, or even 20 years. Now, today, things are much different. If you want to invest, you can download an app like WEBULL or M1, and that's it. You deposit money and you choose your investments. If you want to, you can even invest in Bitcoin if that's your thing. So the barriers to investing that were once around aren't around anymore, and anyone can now invest. You also get a lot of incentives for investing because everyone is now competing for your business. And even though these investment apps are free to use, I made a video a couple months back explaining how they make millions to billions of dollars every year from you investing without actually charging you anything. This is why if you use the link I have below in the description, for example, you can sign up for WEBULL, and after depositing $100, you'll receive 2 free stocks, or at least 2 free stocks. If you sign up for M1, you'll get $10 for free to go towards your investments. So not only is investing now free, but you also get incentives just to invest in the first place. Now, before I get into the details here, just a very quick reminder, if you're new to the channel or you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, my name is Ian, and I post videos here on YouTube every single day on topics relating to making money and personal finance. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, then give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel and turning on all the notifications. And that way you'll be able to get the updates every day when I post a new video here. Also, I want you guys to comment below and tell me this. If you are investing, tell me how much of your income does your financial planner or your 401k or investment plan suggest that you invest per month? Is it 10, 15, or 20%? Comment below, and if you aren't investing as of yet, comment below and let me know what is actually holding you back from investing. Now, back to the original question, which was how much money should you have invested by any age? And to figure this out, we can follow the rule that most financial advisors use, and this is the 10 to 15% rule. If you invest 10 to 15% of your income, and preferably 15%, but if you invest this amount of money, this will allow you to live a comfortable life in retirement from your investments. This is true, but there is one problem with this rule. It only works if you started investing at least 20 years before retirement. Think about this. If I'm 50 years old and I decide to start investing and I make $50,000 per year and I invest 15% of my income and I work until I'm 65 years old, I would have invested or contributed about $625 per month to this investment. If I got the average returns of about 8% annually on these investments, I would have invested about $112,000 and I would have a total with interest combined of $212,000 at retirement. Now, while this is a lot of money, it isn't enough. That's only 4 years of salary if you made $50,000 a year before. So you would either have to reduce your standards of living to be able to survive on that amount of investments, or you would need a lot more money. If you started investing only 10 years earlier though, then that would make things very different for you. So same example, but instead of starting to invest at 50 years old, let's say you started investing at 40 years old. If you made $50,000 and you invested 15% of your income, then by the time you reach 65 years, you would have contributed about $187,000. Your total investment portfolio with interest combined would now be worth around $384,000 if you got the average returns of 8% again over those 25 years. This is a lot more money, however, it's still only about 7 years of living expenses based on your salary before retirement. Let's look at the same example, but again modified for 10 more years. So let's say you invest 15% of your income each month, but you started to invest at age 30 and you made $50,000 a year. Over this period, you have contributed $262,000, but your returns would be totaling over $1 million. So at the age of 65, you would have an investment portfolio worth about $1.3 million. This means you could survive for another 25 years from your investments without changing your standards of living. So the main point here is that instead of worrying about how much money you should have invested by any particular age, you should instead be thinking about what age you plan to retire at and how far you are from there. You then determine what your cost of living will be in retirement, and then you can decide how much money you'll need to have invested, and then you can figure out how much money you need to contribute to your investments now to be able to get to that number. Now, this is if you're planning on using your investments for retirement. If you want to invest for income right now, then that's different. For example, I have retirement investments, but aside from these retirement investments, I have dividend investments, and the main purpose of this investment is to provide income right now. So regardless of age, if you wanted to do that as well, you would have to figure out how much money you'd like to earn per month or year in returns from the investments, and then you look at the individual stocks or funds or bonds that you investing, and you can see the annual yield, which then helps you to understand how much money you would have to invest to be able to make the amount of money you want to make per month or per year. In my previous example with the retirement savings, it was very easy, but if you plan on investing for income right now, it gets a little more complicated because you have to constantly review the investments and the yield. There are also other factors that could affect your investments. Say, for example, you're 25 years old right now and you start investing 15% of your income. If you currently live on $50,000 per year, or that's your salary, you may have much more invested by retirement, or you could invest less, say 10% to get you to your investment goals, because you can account for a salary increase every year or a better paying job somewhere in your lifetime, or even paying off on your home, which increases the amount of money you invest without changing the percentage. If you have no mortgage payments when you retire, then that may reduce your living expenses by a lot, which means you can live the same life you've always lived on less money, which in turn means you don't need to have over $1 million invested. Maybe all you need is $500,000. Now, another important factor that also affects this and can change the amount you need to invest is how much you actually take from your investments per year when you decide to start pulling money from them. And this applies to you even if you want investment income right now and not in retirement. And here's a very simple example. Let's say you have a total of $350,000 invested and you've paid off your home. Because you no longer have a mortgage, you can survive on, let's say, $2,500 per month comfortably. If you get the average returns of 8% per year on your investments and you pull $2,500 from your investments per month, you would end up having 30 plus years of income from that investment of only $350,000. That's a lot less than in the previous examples where you needed nearly $1 million for 30 years. So the main point is this: the amount you need to have invested depends on the goals you have for your investments, whether they be providing you with income right now or providing you with income later on. It also depends on if you expect to get a salary increase or you expect to make more money in the future. It also depends on how far you are from the goal date and other factors, including other expenses that you will or will not have when you get there. Now, although I'm not able to tell you that if you're 25 years old, you should have $10,000 invested, or if you're 35 years old, you should have $100,000 invested, I think this video will help you into figuring out all the factors that you need to consider to create a custom investment plan to get you where you want to be. I'll be leaving a link below to the two calculators I used in this video so you can put your own figures in them and try to figure out what a realistic investment amount is for you, and also to see how long your investments will last you once you start to subtract from them. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as that's the way these videos get recommended to more people here, and I'll really appreciate it. And also guys, remember, giving this video a thumbs up is completely free. Also, don't forget to check out some of my other videos here, more on investments, credit cards, banking apps, savings accounts, ways to make money, and much more. Also, if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on all the notifications, as that's the only way you'll be able to get the updates of when I post new videos. And remember, I'll be posting a new video here every single day on YouTube. Now, I'm leaving a couple links down below to free stuff and free cashback offers, so be sure to check all the links down below in the description for all kinds of free stuff. Once again, I hope this video was very helpful. All the best with your investments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.